Y'all, last night episode of Married to Medicine was by far the best episode this season. That was a ish show there. I got so many notes to go through and a lot to say. So this is going to be a long one. So grab you a drink, some popcorn, your dinner, or whatever. Get situated in front of your phone, your tablet, your computer, or your TV. Because, baby, let's get it crack-a-lacking, okay? So this is Married to Medicine season 11, episode 11 review. So we start off with it being the next morning after the whole couples night fiasco, and Quad is in her hotel room with King discussing what happened the night before, and she questions what happened to Greg, like what pissed him off. And I'm like, ma'am, you weren't that drunk that you don't remember what happened and what was said, right? Now, I know on the last video, a lot of you in the comment section were saying that Sweet Tea was the one that started it when she was saying that basically Quad was capping when she was saying that her and King had schmecks like 10 times a day or whatever. Now, I don't think that that was starting it, because it was obvious that she was saying it in a joking manner to me. This is my opinion, okay? I don't think that that's what started the whole situation. Should she have commented on it? No, but they're in a group setting, and she brought it up. So, yeah, I guess she does have the right to comment. I mean, everybody else was looking like girl bye as well. But I feel like that Quad took it to another level when she got to talking about their marriage and just being weird. You know what I'm saying? It was just weird, to be honest with you. And that's why Greg got frustrated and got annoyed, because you up here talking about, I wish them well, I'm the one that left that marriage and all of that type of stuff. It was so unnecessary, and it was obvious that she was drunk. King should have removed her from that situation. She was not only being disrespectful to Greg and T to me, but she was being even more disrespectful to her new situation, because why is you sitting up here talking about your past and I'm your future and I'm sitting right here next to you looking like a dodo bird? Like, no. You so happy King is such a good man, Savannah, he fine, he got money and all of this stuff. Why are you harboring on your past? Why? Why? You didn't even act like this last season when you was single, quote unquote. And let's not forget, according to the timeline, either she had just met King or they was already together last season. So I'm confused. So confused. You don't want Greg, you left Greg and all of this stuff, then why do you care? Why are you still so emotional? Why? But anywho, she thinks that T and Greg can't handle being around her and seeing her in a new relationship. I don't think that they can handle it. I think that it's an awkward predicament for both parties. For Greg, for T, for Quad, and Quad new man. You know what I'm saying? This whole dynamic is weird. But Quad, Miss Girl, is this thing on? You wouldn't be in this predicament if it wasn't for your shady bestie, Heavenly, who brought her on to the show in the first place, because she was trying to be funny towards you, because y'all was not speaking at the time, and she was trolling you on social media by having couples dates with T and Gregory, taking photos of her and Sweet Tea together. She thought it would be a great idea to bring them back onto the show so she could be messy and have a messy storyline for you if you worked out your contract negotiations and came back onto the show season 10, which you did after a few months of filming. So These wheels got set in motion by Devilly, okay? Devilly. Ugh. So Quad was like, it's giving he's not over me and that she's a seat filler. Like, you want him not to be over you. I think that's the issue. You thought that he was just going to be wallowing away. He would never find anybody else. And he did find somebody else. And you think that you are better than T, that you look better than her, and all of these things. To be honest with you, both of y'all funny looking. Like, you just got a better shape. But other than that, like, girl, you are not Miss America. Like, I don't know who told Quad she was cute like that. Take off that wig and you gonna be looking like Wesley Snipes and Tu Wong Fu. Like, girl, you always telling her you want to be me and all of this type of stuff. And if I was Sweet Tea, I would have said, if I wanted to look like a drag queen, I would go on RuPaul's Drag Race, ma'am. Literally. You look like this season's contestant, Corey King. Like, I would eat Quad up because who you think you are, Miss Girl? It's not giving what you think it's giving. And it's really not giving that because of your attitude. But you can tell why her and King was sitting there having this conversation that he did not want to talk about that mess. But he knew he had to because they're filming for the show. But he looked so disinterested and so annoyed by the whole thing. And he was looking like, this is getting old and I'm tired of talking about this. Because what man want to sit up and talk about your ex-husband all damn day? Nobody. And the same thing for Sweet Tea. I would get tired of talking about Quad ass. Do y'all need to go to couples therapy to get over y'all divorce? Like, what is going on? Oh my God. So then over in Greg and Sweet Tea's room, he apologizes to her for yelling, but not for his feelings. Sir, you needed to apologize for more than just yelling at her, but how you spoke to her, how you handled her in that situation, scolding her like she was a child in front of everybody. That was embarrassing and it was degrading to her. She is a grown woman. You talk to her or you handle her like that one-on-one in the privacy of y'all room. Don't embarrass her like that in front of somebody that is like the op to her. Like, you are a united front when it comes to y'all situation. And all you did was look girl her in front of everybody. That wasn't cool. And I wish she would have said that to him. I don't know if she didn't really want to go there with him because they were filming. But nah, bruh. So he was basically telling her, like, she need to calm down with the way that she be reacting to stuff. And that shows their age difference with the way that she responds. And she was like, yeah. Cause for me, it's swing ho, period. And I don't think that that's an age difference thing at all. Hell, me and Gregory around the same age, if not the same age. And if a chick coming at me the way these girls be coming at her, it ain't even no talking for me. I'm not good to talk. I'm swinging, period. I would have been kicked off the show. I don't care about none of that, okay? Because the old Keisha is still very much in me. Very much. And I be trying to hold that bitch back. But, So, Heavenly, Simone, and Groot are in the room talking, and Heavenly informs them that Apollo is coming on the trip. And they're like, why on God's green earth would you invite this man? This is nothing but trouble. And they're like, does Phaedra know? She was like, yeah, I told Phaedra, and she was all right with it. But they like, okay, remember when it goes left that you said Phaedra knows. Phaedra's cool with it. So the group head to a private sandbar. They go on this like pontoon boat or whatever. Everybody's on the boat and they're waiting because Apollo is pulling up. And lo and behold, he pulls up with his wife, Sherrein, who Heavenly didn't think was coming because she'd already told Simone and Groot that he said that he was coming along. So even she was shocked to see her. And I was like, you really think that girl was not going to come on this trip? Girl, I don't even know why he lied to you and said that. But they walk up and she look even more like Miss Nikki Baby now. She look even more like Miss Nikki Baby now than she did when they was on that couples retreat show on VH1 a few seasons ago. Oh my God, she looks like Miss Nikki Baby. Oh my God. So everybody is shocked to see Apollo and Sherrein. And Phaedra says that Sherrein is Apollo's side chick. He was messing around with her when she was pregnant with their second son, the president. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, I forgot all about that until they did some flashbacks when she made an appearance on Atlanta and was talking about how wifey wasn't supporting him, meaning when Apollo got locked up, how Phaedra wasn't going to see him and all of this stuff. And then, that's when they got married. Baby. I mean, just looking at her, she looked like the type that'll mess around with a married dude. She don't look like she care, but she looked totally different than how she did all them years ago. Like, ugh. Um, so somebody asked Phaedra, did who invited them? And she was like, I don't know who invited them. And I was like, now Phaedra, here you go lying. Here you go lying. Like, why would Phaedra lies about the most stupidest, minute things. She tells little white lies that don't even need to be told. Like, the answer was simple. Phaedra, you know that. Why lie and say you don't know who invited them? Like, she's a weirdo like that. Like, Phaedra lies like a kleptomaniac steals. Steals little stupid stuff like a fork just to get the rush of stealing something. It's so weird. So, somebody said, Sherrein, you see Phaedra? She was like, yeah, I see her. Them hoes did not speak to each other. That had me hollering. So when Shaq and Sherrein see each other, they like, oh my God, what you doing here? Oh my goodness. He daps up Apollo and everybody's like, y'all know each other? And they was like, yeah, we know each other. Da, 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 da. So everybody like, this is even weirder. Like, they know this man. Like, what is going on? So, the other cast members find out that Shaq knows Apollo and Sherrein and that him and Apollo are cool. So they looking at Phaedra like, you knowingly, willingly messing around with one of his partners? Like, really? And you brought him knowing that Apollo was going to come? So you being messy? But I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts on that in a second. So they're taking shots and cheersing, and Shaq says, and the goal is to have schmecks 50 times a week. Apollo looking like, ugh, like, dude, like, you doing too much. You ain't got to be saying that type of stuff around me. So him and Quad are off to the side having a conversation. Heavily is sitting there. And Apollo says to Quad, Phaedra told me, he said he didn't know me. And he like, that's my boy right there. Like, huh? He was like, and I knew Phaedra was lying. And I could see Phaedra doing it. I could very much see Phaedra telling him that he said that he didn't know him. Because Phaedra is messy like that. And we see that she lies over stupid stuff. So I can see her lying to him and saying that very much. So Heavenly tells him that she did not know anything about the fact that Shaq was affiliated with them. Like, she was like, I did not know that. And she didn't know that. Now, Phaedra knew that they were cool, but when you flash back to their date, he says, I know your ex-husband. Do you have an issue with that? That's what they showed us. Now, I don't know if the conversation went any further than that with him explaining how well they knew each other, but based off what we saw, he just said, I know your ex-husband or whatever, are you cool with that? And I guess he must have had said to Phaedra that he knows him from the club. And you know how that is. You go to the club, you see somebody that you know, or what's up, da 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 da, y'all might have a drink with each other, but that's the extent of it. So You never know with Phaedra because Phaedra lies a lot. But based off what we saw, he simply said, I know your ex-husband. Do you have an issue with that? Based off of that, if I'm Phaedra, I would be like, I don't care. Like, it's not an issue with me. He's remarried, got his own situation going on. We've been divorced for almost 10 years. I'm not gonna not date you because you know my ex-husband. Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck. Like, no, what? As small as Atlanta is, and as small as the population of men, single straight men are, like, girl, no, I'm not gonna let that stop me. And I don't think that she owes him anything at all. She don't owe him nothing. Period. So Quad feels that Phaedra was being messy by bringing Shaq, and I'm like, shut up. Quadira or whatever, quadruple, whatever your name is. Phaedra in her confessional says that old boy said that he knew Apollo from the club and that she didn't know how close they were. Now, I don't know how close they were. She didn't know how close they were. You could take that with a grain of salt because you can only believe Phaedra to the smallest extent, okay? You really don't know with her. So, but I still don't think that she owes him anything or should care about his feelings at all. So they get to the Sandbar and the view is chef's kiss. It was beautiful. Oh my goodness. I think that's going to be my vacation spot this year. Most definitely. So Steve and the guys are all sitting down talking while the ladies are in the water. And he asks Apollo how he knows the group. Here go Apollo. I know several of these people. I know Eugene. I know Gregory. I know King. I know several people here. And I'm like, nigga, just say you her fucking ex-husband. Like, are you doing all of this? Like, what was that for? Like, he got on my nerves with that light, bright ass. So then the guys get to testing each other testosterone and challenging each other, and Greg get down and do 25 push-ups while saying sweet tea, sweet tea, sweet tea. And it was given like, that's what he do when they get, he probably be like, sweet tea, sweet tea. It was so weird. So weird. So then Eugene decides to cheers King and thanks him, for coming into this group and being positive about everything. And I'm looking like Eugene, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I get it, but it wasn't necessary. It really wasn't. So he was like, I thank y'all all for welcoming me into the group. And then Greg takes it a step further with the weirdness and says to King, I haven't really welcomed you because it's been awkward for me. I don't mean, disrespect, but she was speaking over my new marriage and it bothered me. I don't mean her no disrespect. We just have history and, I didn't handle it well. And King was basically like, I get it. Y'all have a past. Now, I understand where Gregory was coming from, but once again, just like with Eugene, it wasn't necessary. It was not necessary, especially with the dynamics of this foursome that's going on. It's best to not say anything to one another. Nothing. They're not there. Invisible on both sides. I understand he was trying to explain himself and make King aware that I ain't got no smoke with you. I didn't handle myself well last night. These are the reasons why. But he just shouldn't have said anything. He shouldn't have said anything. So King was, Greg was like, I just see she talked too fucking much. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all know how with Kendrick Lamar performance at the Super Bowl and how Samuel L. Jackson was like, you almost there. You almost there. Don't fuck. And then here goes Not Like Us. And he like, oh shit. That's exactly how it was with Gregory. Like, you was fine. You could have left it at that. You didn't need to say that. Here we go. Now it's about to be on and popping. So King was like, oh, you said that? I didn't hear that last night. Oh, okay, so I think you owe her an apology. And he was like, no, I think things were said from both parties. Like, no. And Eugene tries to quell the situation and squash things, but he's so nervous he can't even speak, y'all. He was like, you know, superstar. He didn't know what to do. So Cecil jumped in. He was like, yeah, help me, Cecil. So Cecil was like to King, I know you and Quad probably have talked and, she's revealed things or whatever. But, like, even Cecil was at a loss for words, for real, for real. So, King says that there is trauma there for Quad. And by trauma, he is basically speaking on the alleged physical abuse that she supposedly suffered from Gregory. Gregory then gets up off his chair and walks over to King and, stands in his face and says if he had an issue with him, he would have addressed him. Like, once again, I don't have no problems with you. And they basically did it for now. Another thing that was not necessary was for him to get up out of his seat and go over to that man's face, even though I know that he didn't mean any harm. He wasn't trying to be tough. He was simply trying to tell him, like, man to man, I don't have any issues with you. But he could have said that from where he was at. It's like, Greg, sit your ass down somewhere, child. So Phaedra and Shaq are taking freaky pictures on the beach, right? And Contessa is in the water with the other ladies, and she says to Sherrein, you know Phaedra's man? And here go this big back beluga whale bitch. Stop it with that's her man. Shaq is everybody man in Atlanta. Who you talking to with all this bass in your voice is what I want to know. Sitting up here looking like Ryback. If you watch wrestling, you know who I'm talking about. It was like, what's with the attitude? Like, we ain't did nothing to you. Like, you are a guest here. Who are you talking to, Miss Mama? I was looking at the screen like, is this chick serious? I'm surprised Contessa didn't say, like, hold up, little mama. Hold up. I just asked you a question. Calm down. Calm down. Take a Xanax. Oh, I hate that I miss Ramona racist ass. Anywho. So, Sweet Tea then says, Shaq likes to have fun. I don't think it's anything serious. And Sherrein talking about we don't give a ish, obviously. It's just messy a little bit, And it's giving you are so bothered by what Phaedra is out here doing. If I was you, I would think that you would be doing cartwheels and pussy popping on the handstand that she got a man and that she ain't thinking about yours. So I'm still not understanding why you got your swimsuit panties in a bunch. Girl. So then they call Shaq over and the girls get to questioning him about whether or not he told Apollo that him and Phaedra are dating and how does he know Sherrein and all of this stuff. And, he's answering certain things, not answering others. Mind you, Phaedra standing right there. Apollo then comes over and joins the conversation because they call him over and they ask, Shaq asks him, didn't I tell you that I was, talking to Phaedra or whatever? And he was like, he told me he had an opportunity to do speed dating, but he didn't get into the particulars of the speed dating. And dude was like, so I got to tell you everything? Like, And he was like, see, y'all being on some snake stuff. You and her being on some snake stuff. I don't think that they were being on no snake anything. Frankly, I think that he did what he was supposed to do when he let you know about the opportunity. But as far as like, I think that once he told him about the situation, and then him and Phaedra connected, I think one more conversation could have been given where, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up to let you know that, me and Phaedra connected. This is what it is. And y'all go from there. He owed you that much. Phaedra don't owe you nothing in my eyes. She ain't got to explain nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if y'all are close the way they are saying y'all are close, then you have every right to feel some type of way about Shaq, dating your ex-wife. Because that is messed up. It's messed up. No shape, way, or form that is not messed up. You know what I'm saying? But Phaedra don't owe you nothing. Don't owe you nothing at all. So, Heavenly in her confession times, Phaedra know what she doing. I think she's trying to piss Apollo off. Girl, you wanted all of this to happen. That's why you invited Apollo. You didn't invite Apollo to show Sweet Tea and Quad and Gregory and King how civil you can be when you're divorced. You knew things were not kosher between them, that they can be on some kumbaya with each other. Stop. It's a reason why she didn't invite him to their son's birthday party last season. Yeah, they cool, but they cool to an extent. There's still a lot of underlying mess between her and Apollo. And you knew that. You knew you was trying to be funny, Heavenly. So stop. Stop, stop, stop. So Phaedra was like, what does it matter, Apollo? We're not married. Why are you so mad about who I date? And then here come Billy Goat Gruff, Sherrein, talking about Apollo don't give a fuck about you. Apollo, I told you, Miss Faye Faye. And Phaedra said, first of all, my name ain't Faye Faye, bad built bitch. And I said, now we got Phaedra activated. It took for Sherrein to come on her to get her activated. Baby, I said, okay, now this is the Faye Faye that we knew and that y'all loved. I said, okay. Now, I don't know if it really went like that in real life or the way that they just edited it, because after she said that, everybody was on mute. Now, I don't think that girl just sat there and let that lady call her a bad built beast. And why is it just me, y'all? But if Phaedra and Sherrein would have fought, why do I think that Apollo would have protected Phaedra over Sherrein? 1,000%. 1,000%. Do y'all agree? Let me know down below in the comment section. But yeah, if I don't blame Phaedra for having that energy towards her, because who you talking to is what I need to know. I really need to know. Who do you think you talking to? Especially if the story is real, how you was messing around with this man while they was married and while she was pregnant with their second child. You got your nerve. And we just found out 2 weeks ago that they filed for divorce. They about to get a divorce, and she's sitting up here citing that he was mentally abusive to her. So you doing all of that and you over there living in hell, girl, get out of here. So then Shaq pulls Phaedra away and was like, we said we wasn't gonna do this, that, and the third. Sweet Tea was like, who invited you? And Sherrein was like, Dr. Heavenly. And Sweet Tea says, what was the purpose of you inviting them? And I mean, that is the question of the day. What was the purpose of you inviting them? And we all know the answer: to be messy and to start stuff, playing with people's marriages, relationships, their dynamics. She trying to get ratings and not caring about the fact that these are these people real lives that you're playing with. And cause she knows she wrong and somebody was calling her out, Heavily gonna talk about some none of your effing business. Don't ask me ish. You don't ask me no MFing question. You don't effing talk to me. I do not understand how Sweet Tea didn't make her a freshly brewed jug of coffee by knocking the cocoa beans out of her head. Because I would have immediately leaped across that sand and stole on her, because somebody need to punch Heavenly in her shit. Now, that girl didn't talk to her crazy from what we saw for her to then respond the way that she did. Because you talking to her like she a dog off the street and sitting up here cursing at her and all of this type of stuff with all of this bass and venom in your throat. So Sweet Tea says, no, you can shut the F up talking to me, bitch. As she should. They get the arguing back and forth, and Heavenly tries to get her ding dong looking ass up off the goddamn sand, and she's so old them knees ain't stallioning at all, and she fell backwards on her ass. And I was like, that's what you get, because God don't like ugly. God do not like ugly. I hollered when she fell back into that water, child. So the men come over and they're breaking it up, and Simone says in her confessional, T is out of control. How is she out of control? Because she asked a question and Heavenly decided to cuss her out. You expected her to just stand there and take that? You ain't gonna stand there and take it. I don't understand why they're making Sweet Tea out to be the problem and the villain of it all. Now, based on what I've seen on the internet, it seems like she's pretty much falling out with everybody in the cast, including Toya. So I don't know how that reunion went last week, child. But I don't think this Sweet Tea will be coming back next season. I don't think so. I don't think that she will be. And I don't think that her and Gregory need to be on the show, to be honest with you. Somebody got to go. And we all know it ain't going to be quiet because she need the check. So y'all came, y'all saw, y'all conquered, let it go and live y'all life, and you go get pregnant and protect your family and your marriage. But Heavenly was 1000% in the wrong in that situation, and she really got to watch her mouth, because she gonna come across somebody that don't give a fuck about no reality TV stuff and having a paycheck and knock her out. And it's mind-boggling to me how she be trying to talk so tough, knowing she ain't gonna fight nobody. We all know you pussy, so shut up. Please. So as Gregory is holding Sweet Tea back and trying to calm her down, here come King deciding that now is the time to have a one-on-one conversation with Gregory. And I'm looking like, sir, now is not the time. Now is most certainly not the time. Tensions are high. Like, y'all already had a conversation. Why are you going back over there saying something to this man? Now, in my eyes, King, you was keeping up BS. You really was. Because everything that you could have said it when y'all had the first conversation. But I feel like you wanted to prove something on camera, that you rough and tough with your Afro puffs. I don't know what you was thinking, but it wasn't necessary. And it was given like you was trying to, not even given that he was trying to, you were stepping to that man trying to punk him. So Phaedra pulls Sweet Tea away so they can have a one-on-one conversation. And King says to this grown man, who's probably older than him, what happened last night, I'm going to let that shit slide, all right? This ain't Prison Break. Who you talking to, sir? Like, he was literally trying to son him. Like, we all know Gregory ain't no fighter. So you coming to that man doing all of that was just so unnecessary. Like, so unnecessary. It was low-key almost giving bully. Because it's like, you know that he ain't no smoke for you. You know it. So Gregory was like, okay. He tried to remain tough. Gotta give it to Greg. So then King says, you don't need to speak to her no more. And Greg said, I don't want to speak to her no more. And King says, so don't let it happen, all right? then we ain't gonna have no problems. Once again, what are you doing all of this for? You and Sherrein need to get somewhere and sat down, because I'm gonna say that in a second. I'm gonna say what I got to say in a second. So Greg says, listen, tell her to stop saying the ish that she says. King says she can say whatever the F she want to say. No, the fuck she can't. No, she can't. Greg says, not to me though. Period. He said, how do you want me not to talk to her, but she can say ish to me? Does that make sense to you? And King says, if she say something to you, you address me. Don't speak to her. I don't know about, I know about the past, right? Once again, alluding to this alleged schmooze that she supposedly suffered from the hands of Greg. And Greg says, you know her side of the past, which is 1000% true. King says, tell me something different then. And Greg says, yo, you gonna find out. He like, just wait till she do it to you. So they get the arguing back and forth or whatever. The other guys come over to break it up. And Greg says to King, I knew you was gonna be like that because your girl like that or whatever. King get the pulling off his shirt and literally runs and charges towards Gregory, who immediately did the moonwalk. Trying to get away from that man. Then you see Quad running, no, 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 trying to rush over there to stop King. Sweet T see what happened. Her and her big old jalopy titties get to running across the sand trying to save her man. And then the episode went off. But see, this is my thing with the King situation, King and Greg. You had no business going back over there to that man trying to check him, right? I understand you trying to stick up for your lady and all of this, that, and the third, but you just her boyfriend. You're not her husband. You're not her fiance. You just her boyfriend. Her and that man have history that you don't fully know or understand. All you know is her side of things. You don't know his side of things. You don't know if the things that she is telling you that happened in their marriage are 1000% true. So you step into that man with all of this vibrato trying to punk him because you heard that he was abusive towards her. You look crazy because like he said, you gonna find out. You gonna find out when things don't go the way she want them to. You're gonna find out, sir. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, at that reunion, they both said that they was hitting on each other, which is not right at all. Or grabbing each other, whatever they was over there doing. It wasn't okay on either part. But it's not just, for me, from what I saw, it didn't seem like it was a one-sided situation. Right? Neither one of them shouldn't have been putting their hands on the other. Do I think that Gregory was over there dog walking her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just don't. And I don't see Quad being the type of woman that's going to sit up there and let nobody beat on her like that. I'm just telling you how I feel and what my opinion about the situation is. Now, if she did in fact go through that, God bless her, and you, Greg, will have to pay for that and suffer from that. But we don't know because we weren't in their house. There's no police reports. There's no pictures of said schmooze. All we can do is go on Quad's word, and we know Quad's word ain't really to be fully trusted. Let's just keep it a buck. And so for King to then insinuate himself in their past marital issues is just 1000% dumb on his part and not cool because you don't know. Same thing for Sweet Tea. All you know is his side of the story and the things that you've heard come out of Quad's mouth. But you can't speak on anything because you weren't there. So you need to stay out of it too. Now, was Greg wrong for saying that she need to shut the F up? No, because she did need to shut the F up at that point. She really honestly did. She did. She did. Period. Period. Do I think that he was wrong for saying that to her? No, because they have a history with each other. They do. That's her ex-husband. They do. Now, if you want to so-called step up and, protect her or whatever, that's your business, even though I think that you doing a lot to just be her boyfriend. She ain't have no regards for you when she was sitting up there talking about her marriage in front of your face. But she loved you and so happy with you and all of these things. I just think that until you can get a better grasp on things, y'all relationship is more committed, I wouldn't even involve myself in no mess like that. First of all, with that type of mess, it's obviously, for me, if I was Sweet Tea and if I was King, that whole situation with Quad and Gregory would read to me, y'all not fully healed. Y'all not over this shit. And until y'all get like where y'all need to be, I'm going to peace out because I don't have time for this. Period. That would be a red flag for me. And I'm running left because I don't have time and I don't want to be a part of the drama. Period. And that's for Sweet Tea and King. But he was absolutely wrong for stepping to that man trying to punk him. Because we all know you can beat him up 9 times out of 10. Because King could be all muscle and no smoke. Because we've seen that several million times. But it's just like, why are you even doing all of this? Why? You know that man. And he even said to you, I'm not trying to fight you. Like, you just wanted to show your muscles or something? I'm so confused. So confused about that whole situation. But baby, that was a wreck. That whole episode was a mess from beginning to end. Best episode of the season. I'm going to give it an A for the drama, for the mess, for the shade, for the lies, honey, for the confusions, for the confrontations, for the fights, and everything. Everything, honey. Yes, ma'am. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode down below in the comment section. Remember, let me remind you guys, because I've seen some things going on in the comment section for any newbies to this channel, or old ones that may not know. Over here on the Color Me Pink channel, we do not disrespect each other for our opinions on these reality shows, right? Just like you all may not agree with the things that I say, they're my opinions. This is my channel. I'm not going to argue with you about your opinions. So respect mine and I'll respect yours. You can get down in the comment section and say you love Quad and Quad is right and Greg is wrong, and I'm going to heart that and keep it moving, right? Okay, so do not disrespect other T Squad members or myself if you don't agree with what we have to say. Simply state your opinion in the comment section and keep it moving. Don't attack others for their opinions just because you don't agree. All right, and I've had to warn a few of you. I only give out one warning just in case you don't know what's going on over here. But after that, you're literally just going to get blocked. So please be mindful, be respectful. This is a fun, entertaining environment. We joke, we have fun over here. We don't take ourselves seriously. We don't take these reality shows seriously because that's what it is here for, our entertainment. So just wanted to remind you guys of that. Yeah. So please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.